First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching the truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother Dawaba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And on my phone screen here, you got at Chris Offers. Well, it's actually Christopher, but I mean, I guess he was trying to sit up here and be creative with his name. Chris Offers. And it says the real reason Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. And this is why we sit up here and tell you, people, you can't listen to everybody. You got motherfuckers out here who changed the scriptures into fairy tale books, into all sorts of nonsense. You know, when you look at Genesis 19, it speaks clearly as to what Lot's wife did. She looked back. Point blank, period. Now this clown is going to say something else. I'm going to sit up here and let him play. Let me get the Copyright Act of 1976. I'm not using this for any type of monetary gain or any type of financial gain. I'm using this for educational and teaching purposes only. So here we go.
Lot's wife didn't turn into a pillar of salt simply because she glanced back. In Genesis 19, the story reveals much more. Two angels warned Lot's family, don't look back or stop as they fled the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. But the word used in the original Hebrew suggests something deeper. It implies returning. This means Lot's wife likely didn't just look back. She may have tried to go back. Now, why salt? Deuteronomy 29 verse 23 describes Sodom and Gomorrah as wastelands of salt and sulfur after fire rained from the sky. When Lot's wife attempted to return, she was likely caught in the catastrophic fallout, blanketed by salt and sulfur from the destruction. This transformation wasn't necessarily a divine punishment to instill fear. Instead, it was a natural consequence of ignoring clear warnings. Heeding warnings and moving forward can protect us, while clinging to the past may come at a great cost.
So, y'all heard what this clown said. So here it is. He gonna sit up here and say that Lot's wife, first and foremost, he sit up here and said that Lot's wife tried to return. Where did it say that in the scriptures? Where did it say she tried to return? It says exactly what it says. She looked back. Not only did the angel say, don't look back, but it says Lot's wife looked back. Then he sit up here and said this, which really gets me. He said this wasn't a judgment or a warning from God. This just happened because of the consequences you made. See, this is why you don't listen to fools, man. This is why you sit up here. That's why it says, a beloved, try the spirits. Because you got a lot of false prophets out. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. But you got a lot of false preachers out there and a lot of people that just say a lot of nonsense and don't know what they're talking about. You know? Now, I'm finna sit up here and get the scripture real quick. I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 19. And then I'm going to grab a few other scriptures. But, hey, that's why we tell you, hey, don't listen to clowns, man. Don't listen to clowns. I had Genesis already pulled up. So this is Genesis chapter 19. I'm going to start at 15. And then I'm going to jump down a little bit. But I'm going to start at 15. And then I'm going to get straight to the point on the other part. But this is Genesis chapter 19 and verse 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon his hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. So what did he tell Lot? Don't look behind you and keep on moving. Don't stop. So let's take a look at that word look. Let's look at it. Let's go to it. What does the word look say? It says nabat. What does that word mean? It says to regard, pleasure. It says by implication to regard with pleasure, favor or care, cause to behold, consider, look down, regard, have respect, see. So that's what it says. Now, when you go look into the other parts, it says, look, behold, consider, regard, see, respect, look down, look about, look back. So where in the world does it says return? Everything about this saying that she looked back. So let's continue. So let's go down. I'm going to jump down. So I just got through reading Genesis 19 and 17. I'm going to jump down to 22. I'm going to jump down to 24. Then the Lord, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go straight to the point. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So what does that? So here's Genesis 19 and 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So when you look at that word look here, what does it say? It says look back. It's the same word, nabat. And when you look it up, what does it say? It says the same thing. To look back, to look about, regard, see, respect, look down, consider, look, behold. So where does it say she tried to return? She didn't try to return. No, she looked behind her when the angels in Genesis 19, when you read above, the angels told Lot and his wife, do not look behind thee. Do not and don't stay in the field. Don't stop. Keep going. So what did his wife do? She disobeyed an order. She looked behind. And the reason she looked behind, which is just whether it was or wasn't, is because leaving back all those goodies. Here it is, they had wealth, and just like any woman, she probably looked behind and was like, damn, man, we leaving all this behind. And guess what? The Lord judged our ass right then and there because she was told not to look behind. And then this fool in this video said that it wasn't a warning. It was because of her own action. Yeah, it was because of her own action. She looked behind, but she got judged. And then he sits up here and said that when she walked back, the salt and all that stuff probably splattered on her, and that's what happened. Are you serious? The Lord destroyed that hope. The Lord wiped out all them cities, Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities surrounding it. What do you mean? She would have been fucking wiped out if she'd have went back. What did the angel say? The angel said she would have been consumed. So she wouldn't have been turned into a pillar of salt. She would have been consumed if she was there. That's why you can't listen. You got to listen to the words, what it's saying. The angels were specific in what they said to her. To her, Lot, and the two daughters. They were specific. Don't look back. Don't stop unless thou be consumed. Didn't say unless thou turn. Stick to what it says. That's why we say don't listen to people, man. Don't listen to clowns like this. Now here, I'm finna, hold on. I'm finna go back to, let me sit up here and go this, because it was I wanted to go there first, but I'm going to get this scripture first, man. And no, I'm going to get First John first. Let me go ahead and just go to First John. Salakia. Let me go to First John 4. Fucking people, man. What did it mean? It spoke something deeper. What you mean it spoke something deeper? It said what it said. Just nonsense. This First John 4 and 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are going out into the world. And that's the whole point. That's the point I want to make. You got to try the spirits, man. You got to sometimes listen to people and listen to what they're saying. A lot of people sit up here and try to make the Bible into a fairy tale book. A lot of people sit up here and try to make the Bible into their own words and sit up here and twist and take away words and put in their own words. Where did it say it was a deeper meaning? Where did it say it's return? What are you talking about? She looked back and she got judged for her disobedience. One more time. 1 John 4 and 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hey, you got to try people first, man. You got to try people first, man. Because listening to everybody and listening to anything, people like to make fables and fairy tales out of the truth, man. And that's what they do. And with that, let me sit up here and go to 2 Timothy. Because that's the other one I want to go to. 4. This 2 Timothy 4. You know what? I'm just going to go really kind of like to the point. This is 2 Timothy 4:3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fable. See, here's the point. That's the whole thing. You know, people sit up here and love to listen to stories and fables, man. You know, it might be one point that you might have heard this truth, and all of a sudden, here it is. You keep on continuously listening to other people, and all of a sudden, guess what? Because you're trying to get something else out of the truth. You're trying to get something else. And all of a sudden, now you come to clowns who sit up here and turn the scriptures into fairy tale, into myths, into fables, just like this clown did. He sit up here and came up with his own myth, his own falsehood. Instead of just looking at what the scripture exactly said, he came up. As a matter of fact, let's go to what that word fable is. It's kind of funny when you look at it too. Look at the word fable. It says muthos. It look like mythos. Muthos. And where do you get the word mythical from? And when you look at the word mythical, a lot of times they use it in Greek mythology, like Greek mythology. You know, what is that? When you take Greek mythology, so here is already, let's look at what it means. It says fiction, myth, fable. Muthos, perhaps from the same through the idea of tuition, a tale, i.e. fiction, myth, a fable. So that means some bullshit that ain't true. That's exactly what it means. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I want to go to, here it is. I want to go down here to the other, because when you go to Bible usage, even though it says a speech, word, saying, a narrative story, a true narrative, which is not a fiction, that's what it is. A fiction, a fable, but it says an invention, a falsehood. And that's another thing. So he came up with a falsehood. He invented some bullshit. He came up with his own thoughts. She walked back and returned and probably got hit by the fire and the salt. What? That's not what it says. It says she turned into a pillar of salt when she looked back. Insane. Total insanity. I'm going to end on this scripture here. And this is for clowns, man. Just clowns like this fool, man. You know, it says Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. And this is definitely leaning into their own understanding. Coming up with his own bullshit and leaning to his own understanding. That's exactly what he is. It doesn't say nowhere where she tried to return, tried to fight through the fire and all that other nonsense. That's bullshit and BS. And Salakia for all my rude speech. But sometimes, man, you just get pissed off when you listen to dumb shit. That it doesn't even say that. But people lean to their own understanding, and you people that's leaning to your own understanding are going to be destroyed. But with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. With that, I like to say Kwam Yasharallah and Abba Babal and Anya Habatham Akim. Shalom.